Hello guys, this video we talk about block formatting context, display route, display flow route, and others. Anyway, block formatting context is a concept. A concept, yes, we can say it is a concept. Anyway, a block formatting context will lay all child elements according to block layout rules. The outermost element in a document that using block layout rules establish the first or initial formatting context. Okay. So after the first display block element, all the others, you according to him, participate and respect the rules of the margin, the borders, and the padding, interacting with the other blocks in the same context. So they are related to him in a way, no? Anyway, staying to the practice, here there is the list of what can create a new block formatting context from the main one. I just subtitle float, absolute position, of course, inline block. Who doesn't know what it is, it should look at it. Then tables, overflow with other elements other than visible, display flow route, and as you see, flex, grid, multi-column containers, and column span set wall. Anyway, looking at an example, and this is where it comes to display flow route. This is just two divs nested together, and the div inside is floated on the left. Okay, so the goal is to make the content create a new block formatting context in this case. No, so we want this to be a new block formatting context. The first thing that someone will do is to use overflow on box. So if you come here, you make overflow in auto, not visible, auto, then it works and you have a new block formatting context. The problem comes, there is not a real problem. Maybe you can, using this in another situation, will make you have some scroll bars that you don't want, because overflow is what it does. Overflow is meant to handle text that is not containable from the box that is into, no? But this is not the case. We don't want to use overflow. We don't want to make something that is getting outside. We want to create a block formatting context. So I'm not saying that overflow is wrong, but it's not the best. And the secondary, if you use this and then someone comes and see your code, he might not understand, and and you can understand why anyway. So the best choice is to use display flow route. Display flow route, and as you can see, it makes the same result. Okay, flow route, the flow route keywords depends to the fact that we are actually creating a new root element like HTML. So now we created another HTML, let's say, and from there it starts to display another different layout. Anyway, finish for block formatting context. inline formatting context is the formatting context of the paragraph, to set it simply, and it describes how elements like strong, a, and others behave inside a paragraph. As you already know, paragraphs are margin left and right. Margin and padding are used, so they push the, the text from left to right, from the left and on the left and on the right, but up and down things remain the same. Vertical padding is not respected. Yes, vertical padding and border. This border will go onto the text. You can see now. As you can see, the border is onto the text. So if you place a border, it will go on the rest of the text. The padding is created a space here and there, but of course not up or down. And that's all. It actually exists. Coming here, it mentions other formatting context, but the same guide says that they don't refer to it, and so if you want to have a look, maybe I will make another video on the visual formatting context. So of course there are others formatting context. There is the flexed formatting context and the grid formatting context. But if you have seen my basic beginner CSS guide, I talked about it, and even if you didn't see my videos, but you know this flexbox and grid is obvious what they are, so I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to say something about visual formatting model, which is really the basic, is what stands at the base of what we said about block formatting context, inline formatting context. I say it at the last as last thing because since it's only a matter of theory, and not code, there is not much I can do more than what the developer Mozilla does in its written tutorial. I will just follow their tutorial and talk about it. So if you want, you can even stop the video now and follow the tutorial. Anyway, visual formatting model describes how user agent take the document tree. This includes continuous media and paged media. Continuous media are computer screen, video, audio. Paged media are book, then document printed by the browser. And so each element in the document tree generates from 0 to more boxes according to the box model. And these boxes has different dimension, has different position schemes, normal flow, float, absolute, relationship between each other, and they have external information. They are governed by external information such as the viewport size and intrinsic dimensions of the images, in case of images. The visual formatting model has been mostly defined in CSS2, but some specification of CSS pre has come into play. Anyway, the viewport is the viewing side of the browser. In continuous media, the user agent can change the layout when the viewport size changes. Okay, and Okay, and we most often see this in block dimension and inline dimension too. Okay, if the viewport is smaller, you need to scroll, you need, and this needs a scroll bars, etc. Okay, box generation. The box generation is the part of the CSS visual formatting model that creates boxes from the document's element. The boxes are from different types. Um, uh, the type of the boxes depends on the CSS display property. The display property is defined in CSS2 and extended in CSS display module level 3. Okay. Anyway, CSS take the source document and renders it into the canvas. And if you didn't know this, it opens a word, I know. To do this, it generates an intermediate structure, the box tree, which represents the formatting structure of the rendered document. Each box in the box tree represents its corresponding element in space or time on the canvas, while each text run in the box tree likewise represent the context of the corresponding text node. So, every element of the boxes of the document generates boxes, one or more boxes. How they are displayed depends on the display property. And now let's see. Some elements display more than one boxes. One of them is the principal box, which contains its descendant and generate the content in the box tree. So it's the one that is taken into consideration by the box tree, and it behaves like the parent element, even though it's not behaves like the parent element. In fact, it says here, some elements may generate additional boxes in addition to the principal boxes. For example, display list item that display more than one box. Okay, so anonymous boxes is created when there is no HTML to use for the box. The situation happens when you, for example, declare display flags. Anyway, you can see here the display flags. Rebecca Purple, we have a div that is wrapping something, and there is text that is not into a paragraph, which is not really a very nice piece of code, to be frank. Anyway, as you can see, we are giving to all the child elements of the flex class, not child elements of flex, all the direct descendants, because we're using wildcard, background color and color, but they are applied only to the P, because the others are not are anonymous. And they are not they are not elements, so they don't get the this kind of feature from here. Even though if I come here now, maybe from here now I can do it. The same thing happens when you have text run interspersed with block elements. In the next okay, this is the same example is here, and you can see that here even without the display flags, it happens the same things. And you can see here div class equal to example. I am wrapped in an anonymous box. So since we are using these features only to the descendants of the to do the direct descendants of the owner of the class example is not getting the background color, these anonymous boxes. But if we now I came here, I have written just this same, but I'm applying it um, not to the descendants, but to the div itself. And okay, it's pretty obvious, but it's applying to all, to everyone. Okay. Okay. The string is split into three boxes. Two are anonymous. Then there are inline anonymous boxes. It's more important when you use a section wrapped with em strong or something like that, you are creating an inline box. And this splits the sentence into three box. Anonymous mode is inline box. The section wrapped in the EM, then a fine anonymous inline box. So there are two anonymous inline box and one box in the EM. Here it talks about grid layouts, flexbox, and table layout. I don't want to talk about this. What I think is best is line boxes. It's not important, but I like that people maybe get a basic grasp of the basic of how the dynamic of how CSS work. No, line boxes. Each line is a box. Line boxes are the trap. Each line of text is a box, and then the whole text is a box itself, the principal box, of course. Is always talking about dynamics and the basic dynamic of CSS. That maybe you are watching this video, so maybe it's not the first 3 minutes you're watching CSS. This is really the basic concept, but sometimes people doesn't know it, and me, I didn't know it myself about visual formatting model when I was studying CSS. I learned it after years, and okay, it's fine anyway, but it's interesting. So a box may be laid out according to three positioning schemes: normal flow, floats, or absolute positioning. Obvious, you already know what we're talking about. The normal flow includes block level and inline level. And also relative, sticky, and etc. Block level and inline level boxes. Float, a box is laid out according to the normal flow, then taken before is laid out according to the normal flow, then taken out of the flow and positioned typically to the left or the right. Okay, typically. Absolute positioned, a box is removed from the normal flow entirely and assigned a position respected to the viewport, to a containing block, the viewport. An element is called out of flow if it's floated or absolute position, or in flow if it's in normal flow, if it's not out of flow. Okay. Formatting context, boxes can be described as having an outer display type, which is block or inline. This outer display type refers to how the boxes behave alongside other elements on the page. So how the boxes behaves with each other, but boxes can also have inner display type, dictating how the children behave. For normal block or inline block or normal flow, this display type is flow. This means that child must be block or inline. Sometimes the inner display might be grid or flex. In this case, the direct children will display as grid or flex items, creating a grid or flex formatting context, end of the parenthesis. Okay, independent formatting context is created with display flow root, is what we talked about, and is a block formatting context. Block boxes is in specification, block boxes, block level boxes, and block containers are all referred to L block boxes in certain places. These things are somewhat different, and the term block box should only be used when there is no ambiguity. A block container contains only inline level block boxes participating in an inline formatting context, or only block level boxes participating in a block formatting context. For this reason, we see that the behavior explained above, where anonymous boxes are introduced to ensure that all of the items can participate in a block or line formatting context. An element is a block container only if it contains block level or inline level boxes. Okay, so a block boxes, inline level and block level boxes, these are the boxes contained inside the block container that are participating in inline or block layout respectively. A block box is a block level box that is also a block container. Okay, as described in CSS display, it is possible for a box to be a block level box but not a block container. Okay, and this is really what visual display is. I think that was pretty much everything clear, because it's simple. The only thing that maybe does make some complication is if you don't know what we are talking about continuous media and page media, but I don't want to make this video too long. Just find some documentation in case you need, or otherwise thank you very much for watching, and keep studying. Thank you very much.